When God seems silent, don't lose faith. Full soul-stirring message. There comes a moment in every believer's life when heaven feels quiet, when prayers sound like they're hitting the ceiling and falling right back into your heart. You kneel, you cry, you whisper, Lord, are you still there? And the only sound you hear is silence. But listen to me carefully. Silence is not absence. God's quiet moments are often his deepest moves. When you can't trace his hand, trust his heart. There was a man named Job, blameless and upright, who lost everything in a single season: his children, his wealth, his health, even the support of his wife. He cried, "Oh, that I knew where I might find him." And heaven said nothing, but that silence was not rejection. It was preparation for restoration. When the silence finally broke, God gave Job double for his trouble. And today, you may be in your own job season, but listen. Silence is often the sound of something about to be born. Maybe you've prayed for years and nothing seems to move. Maybe you've fasted, cried, and still no answer. Maybe you've done everything right, but life keeps hitting wrong. You post your faith online, you encourage others, but inside you're running on empty. Oh, I know that feeling, when faith feels like walking blindfolded through fire. But here's the truth. Faith isn't proven in answers. It's proven in waiting. Anybody can praise when the door opens, but real worship begins when the door stays shut and you still say, Lord, I trust you. Look at Joseph, loved by his father, hated by his brothers, betrayed and sold into slavery. In prison, forgotten by the very man he helped. For 13 years God said nothing. No dream, no angel, no message, just silence. But what Joseph didn't know was that the silence was his bridge to the palace. When God finally spoke, it was not with a whisper, it was with a crown. Beloved, don't mistake silence for punishment. Sometimes God hides because he's building. He hides because he's writing your story in secret. Every miracle starts in the unseen, the womb of silence. Think about Hannah, mocked for years because she had no child. Her rival provoked her daily, and heaven stayed quiet. But when the appointed time came, her silent tears birthed Samuel, a prophet who changed generations. What you carry might not be ordinary. That's why the waiting is extraordinary. Even David, anointed as king, went back to tending sheep while Saul ruled the throne. He could have said, Lord, you promised, but you're silent. Instead, he sang to the silence, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. And in time, that same boy became the man after God's own heart. Maybe your silence is your training ground. Maybe your delay is your disguise. Maybe what looks like rejection is just redirection. Let's come to Mary and Martha. When their brother Lazarus was sick, they sent word to Jesus. He didn't come. He waited until Lazarus died. Silence. But when he finally arrived, he said, Did I not tell you that if you believe, you would see the glory of God? And Lazarus walked out of that tomb. Sometimes Jesus waits because he doesn't want to heal it. He wants to resurrect it. He's not late. He's strategic. He's not silent to punish you. He's silent because he's preparing a testimony that will shake nations. Now listen carefully. Silence is a classroom. It's where God teaches us to walk by faith, not by feelings. It's where he grows your spiritual muscles when you think you can't lift another prayer. When heaven is quiet, your roots are growing deeper. Have you noticed that trees don't make noise when they grow? You don't hear the sound of their roots digging deeper, yet they are becoming stronger every day. That's what God is doing with you in the silence. You may not feel progress, but something in you is maturing. You may not see open doors, but God is building unseen bridges. Sometimes he answers by rearranging, not by revealing. So, don't rush your process. Don't curse your waiting season. He is not ignoring you. He's incubating you. Even Jesus himself experienced silence. On the cross he cried, my God, why have you forsaken me? Heaven didn't respond. But 3 days later, that same silence broke with resurrection power. Oh, child of God, the grave cannot silence destiny. Your dark season cannot drown your calling. Your tears are not wasted. They are watering the seed of your next miracle. Right now, God is working behind the scenes, aligning people, shifting atmospheres, rearranging time, all for your story to make sense later. You'll look back one day and say, "Now I understand why he was quiet." You see, a teacher is often silent during a test, not because he left the classroom, but because he's watching to see what you've learned. When the test ends, his voice returns, and so will yours. So hold on, dear listener. Don't let the silence make you walk away. Don't quit before your miracle. Don't stop believing because the delay looks long. Delay is not denial. Silence is not the end. It's the setup. Right now, someone watching this may be crying in secret, wondering, does God still care? Listen, the fact that you're hearing this message means heaven still has your file open. God hasn't abandoned you. He's upgrading you. You are not forgotten. You are being formed. This silence will soon become sound, the sound of laughter, the sound of victory, the sound of answered prayer. Here at Bible Gist Hub, we believe that every season has a reason. And even in the quietest night, God is still whispering, "Be still and know that I am God." So, if this message touched your heart today, don't scroll past. Take a deep breath and say out loud, "God still speaks in my silence." Now write it down in the comments so others can see faith rising again. If you felt hope return, tap that like button so more people can find this message. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to Bible Gist Hub, because every week we share messages that bring light into dark places and hope into weary hearts. You're not alone. You're not invisible. You're in God's process, and soon your silence will sing. Please don't forget to like, comment where this video speaks to you most. Subscribe for more life transforming sermons that we drop here every day, and also share to your beloved ones. Thanks for watching.